अप्लाई हो गया ना? ओके, यस। अब ठीक है। वो ना वर्चुअल देख इस तरह से बदलते हैं ये। दिस इज द वर्चुअल मोड। देख रहे हैं ना, आई हैव चेंज माय बैकग्राउंड। यस। सर, हेलो। हेलो। लाइट नहीं आई। देख चल जाएगा, 1 घंटा चल जाएगा। 50% है। यार थोड़ा सा वैसा करने से कम लाइट। ठीक है, ओके।
जी सर, स्टार्ट
सर,
करें।
हाँ, यस। कैन वी स्टार्ट नाउ?
आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार।
जी नमस्कार सर।
जी सर। हाँ जी, आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार। मैं सुरेंद्र सिंह, डाइट राजेंद्र नगर। आज का प्रोग्राम में कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहा हूँ और मैं आज के सॉरी
राइटिंग स्किल्स।
मैं जी सर, मैं आज के इस प्रोग्राम के लिए अशोक सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि सर, टू डेवलप द हाउ टू डेवलप द राइटिंग स्किल यूजिंग नोटिस, स्टोरी टेलिंग, डायरी राइटिंग, लेटर राइटिंग एंड आर्टिकल राइटिंग। तो सर इसी समय अवगत करवाएं कि हम अपने राइटिंग स्किल को कैसे डेवलप कर सकते हैं। अशोक सर, आपका स्वागत है। मैं आपको इनवाइट करता हूँ, प्लीज सर स्टार्ट कीजिए।
Thank you so much, sir, and thanks a lot at Rajendra Nagar evening shift, giving me this opportunity again. Yesterday, as I have discussed on the teaching of poetry, so today we are going to discuss about the developing the writing skill section. Sir, can you make me the co-host, please?
जी सर।
People who join this video system or video conference applying can't view content you are sharing. Did Sir, just a minute. I am sharing PPT. Hello, is the screen visible, sir?
जी सर.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay.
Yes sir, visible sir.
Okay. Welcome, participants. Today we are going to discuss about the developing of the writing skills. Before going to the today's agenda, I have a question to all of you. You have to reflect and share in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. I have three questions to you. Number one is, as a student, how were you taught writing skills? Second is, write a little about four C's of 21st century. As we all know that the era is has been transformed in the completely 21st century. So what are the skills, especially in the four C's? Can you guess that? And the next question is there difference between facilitation and teaching? Now, these are the three questions you all the participants are requested and suggested to storm your ideas and think beyond the art limitations and write in chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Take our 1 or 2 minutes here. Yeah. Surinder sir, am I audible?
Yes sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir. Participant, you have to reflect and share your ideas on uh, three questions I have shared on the screen. I hope screen is visible. Surinder sir, is the screen visible, sir?
Yes sir, visible sir.
Okay, okay. Yes, Sunaina, as a student, we were given some topics and we had to write on them. Yes, absolutely right, Sunaina. So the answer, sir, yes. Thank you so much. Just prompt these some brainstorming ideas on these. Sonia, Shuman Gupta, and Komal, Snehalata, please come on and think beyond the box. Can anyone guess the four C's of 21st century?
Yes,
Yes,
the
yes.
four stand for first one is critical thinking, second one is communication, creativity, and collaboration.
That's really great. May I your name, please?
Sir,
Sorry.
Sunana, Sunana this side.
Shunena. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shunena. These are the four skills participants: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity. So I expect from all the participants here, yes, having these all four C's, at least four C's of 21st century, we are going to discuss about, all the items, all the elements of the developing of the writing skills today here. Actually, this is the completely theoretical, yani theory session, but with the help of the our discussion. So we will have to we will try to communicate each other and collaboratively. Yes, so we will try to in practice mode also. From KM Deep, in starting, we were given 2 3 lines to write on any topic. Yes, you were working as a guided writing. Yeah. Harsha Shahra, facilitation to assist student to learn together. Really wonderful. Thank you, Harsha. But Harsha, can you unmute yourself? It is a very, fantastic idea, facilitation to assist student as well. Teachers, you have to draw the attention of the co-learning, peer learning, group learning. Yeah, someone already said the one of the C, yani, collaboration. Harsha again, teacher is the controller. Okay, teacher is the controller. Harsha, now unmute yourself, please. Why do you think teacher is the controller?
Sir, in teaching, teacher is the primary controller of the session. He doesn't facilitate, he just provide his knowledge. He doesn't give us so many chances to discuss and to learn together in a group.
Okay, this
If
is
we
the
are
one
only,
of
if we are only talking about teaching,
okay teaching. If we talk about the teaching learning process,
then it will be like facilitation as to assist students.
yes, that's great. Next, Sneh, facilitating provide atmosphere of learning. Wonderful, really wonderful. So, dear participants, now come on to the today's session. This is the for brainstorming one. Snehalata, teaching is teacher dominated. Teach facilitator is learner dominated. Okay, light आ गई ठीक है. Just a minute. Okay, charging. अब हो जाएगा. Teacher is teacher dominated. Teacher is teacher dominated. What do you think? Let us see. Huh? Let's move for the next part. Yes. Animation दे दिया. So today we are going to work on writing skills. इतना animation डाल दिया. Participants, writing skills. What do you think about writing skills? What is writing? Teacher is the facilitator and create learning and environment. Yes, Shyam Singh. Very good. Participants, what is writing? You can write in the chat box or you can unmute yourself. What do you mean by writing? You have already worked on reading strategy, some of the sessions, speaking strategy, and listening strategy also. So, what do you mean by writing?
Hello, sir. It's Shilpi
Yes.
here.
Yes,
Sir,
Silpi.
writing means expressing our thoughts in a written format so that we can better express ourselves.
Very good. Silpi, thank you so much. I can see Sunaina express ideas in printed form. Subedar Rajbhar reading make the full man. Wow. Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon sir already mentioned in Of Studies. Reading make the full man. Conference are ready, but writing is makes a exact man. Very true. KM Deepa express our ideas in written form. Written means expressing thoughts. Writing is a skill and method we can express our related ideas. Thank you, participants. Let us say what is writing skills. Yes, as you all mentioned and you all expressed very beautifully, writing is a form of a communication that allows one to put one's thoughts, already mentioned someone, feelings and ideas on paper after organizing one's knowledge and beliefs into convincing arguments and to convey meaning through well constructed text or coded script in a language. Are you all? Writing is a skill. Something writing is a skill. we can express absolutely, it is also given in it. Thank you, Suvedarji. So today's session, we will progress in the following, points. Writing is as a skill and its what is the importance, types of the writing, and write what are the tips to write the correct English. Writing is a process or is a product. I have a session tomorrow on it. Writing formats regarding the content of the secondary students and reflective practices. If we have a time, so we will have some examples of here today. This is our agenda of the session. Question is to all of you. You have already beautifully mentioned here writing is a skill which needs to communicate our expressions, our feelings, our ideas in a written method. Do you think is it so important writing? Hello? Agree. Sunena, thank you. Agree. Yes, you all are agree. So let us see why is writing so much important to us. Yes, it is categorized in three terms. Why writers write to express our thoughts. Why writers write to show love. Why writers write to tell about something. What they to share our experiences, to share feelings, to ask questions, to teach like us, and to tell about the important events. So that's why in our specific, profession also writing is has a essential, most important feature of it. We have already gone. Before discussing the writing types of writing, I would like to show a video here, and we will see the different opinions about the writing videos. Participants, is the screen visible?
Down.
Yes, sir, it's
Graphism
visible.
of
Okay. Right. Yes. Participants, this is the a video on the writing skills. You already mentioned here all the features. So now we have the four different types of writing techniques here. You can see the writing, all the writing is available in the four types here. Number one is descriptive writing style. The second is narrative writing style. The third is persuasive writing style. Or last one is number four, expository writing style. So now let us go to the number one, descriptive writing. इतना डाल दिया है. May I have any volunteer who can read? Participants, can anyone read this and just define this? What is descriptive writing? May I name? No. Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself and read it? Descriptive writing. I think voice is not. Participant voluntarily. Okay. Hello.
Hello. May I read?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Sunena, yes.
Yeah, descriptive writing. This written work style generally describes a lot more than the remaining styles. Thus, descriptive writing's main purpose is to describe and describe. Simply, it's a style of writing which focuses on describing a character, an event, or a place with details. In this form, a writer or an author envisions what he feels, what he noticed, tastes, and much more, and describes intelligently. For example, poetry, diary writing, biography, and so on.
Thank you, Sunena. Thank you so much. Yes, descriptive writing is to describe any objects, describe any event, describe any effects like a poetry, diary, biography, and so on. Thank you. The next is for us narrative writing. Now I need one another volunteer who can read it and explain some about narrating writing. Yes, Tania, thank you. Thank you, Sonia Verma. Any volunteer for narrative writing? What is the narrative?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, this is Harsha. Yes,
Narrative
yes,
writing
Harsha.
style. Narrative writing style simply narrates a story to the readers, where the story could be the fact or fiction. In this written work, writer or author will make at least one distinct character. This writing style likewise uses creative writing, use of imagination and creativity, rather than dealing with the facts and figures. Alongside the character, the author likewise frames dialogue, event, action, emotions, etc. Example, novels, short stories, poetry, and so on.
Thank you, Harsha. This writing, especially like a very creative writing in the novels, short story, and poetry also. We have also gone through the imagery yesterday, a video also. So this is the very distinct and very clear writing. It is the narrating writing, especially it comes to the shorter story also. The next is persuasive writing. Yes. I need one more volunteer now. Anyone can unmute himself or herself and describe what is persuasive writing. Voluntarily, you all are welcome.
May I, sir?
Yes, sir.
Opposite to the
May I?
expository, persuasive writing
Okay,
is
Subedar.
opposite to the yes, sir. Persuasive writing is to opposite to the expository writing. Persuasive writing glares opinions, justification, explanation, a point of view, etc. The purpose of this writing is to convince the reader or to furnish some of the thoughts to the readers. For example, editorial page, letter of complaint, and so on, display advertisement, speeches and debates, etc.
Thank you, Subedar, sir. It is expository writing which glares, yani which spread the different opinions, different judgmental, different justification, different from ideas or how someone can express themselves and what are the different point of view. Is it the mind point of view? Yeah, is it your point of view or it is someone point of view also? So this is the persuasive writing we always find in the prose also the novel. I find in the short story. Basically, we have the all the types of writing in the short story in the point of view the first person, in the point of view the second person, of the point of view the third person. Thank you, Subedar sir. Next one is expository writing. Yes, I need one more volunteer right now. Please unmute yourself and just define expository writing. What is expository writing according to you?
So may I?
Yes, I couldn't get who are you and I'm not.
Ma'am, so Sir Sonia Verma.
Okay, Sonia. Yes. Yes, Sonia.
Yes, sir. The most common types of
Yes.
writing
Yes.
skill starts or explaining. It is more facts and figure about a particular topic or a subject. Yes, sir. The most skill among it is writing is a form of expository writing where the author intends introduction at the beginning on a pertinent topic, afterwards gradually focusing on the paragraph with accurate facts and figures. Paragraphs in expository writing are by and large limited. Example is textbook writing.
Yes, these kind of the writing is the expository, right? Commonly typed writing skills. Formally concentrate the advertising explaining. This is the directly opposite to the just we have come to the next one persuasive writing. Thank you, Sonia. Some useful tips. Yes, now I would like to discuss some useful tips for the writing correct English. But before going this, just we have some clue in our mind. Having the all kind of writings like the descriptive writing, like the narrative writing, or you can the persuasive writing and the expository writing, all writing needs to be a creative minds, creativity, you can say imagery. So how one can enhance their imagery? Yeah, you can say what is imagery. So now I have a video for you. Then look at the imagery. How can one imagery can influence to someone to writing a better content? Creative writing prompts. Yes. These are some prompts. Some useful. Yes, participants now uh, use of the pen and paper. Yes, sir. So these are some useful tips for the writing correct English. Yes. Many students already struggle as we see in our classrooms and nearby classroom and wherever because we are using the English as a second language. So we all are, including all the sometimes we teachers also writing some struggle in English and can seem like a real challenge to improve. Here are some simple steps that you can take to improve the writing skills of learners. Number one is expanding vocabulary. How? You can express clearly. One needs a good active vocabulary. That's not just being able to recognize words, it means being able to use them correctly. Do this by learning new words with example sentences, not just cramming words lists. These are some tips also. Whenever you learn a new word, or you can say you saw a new word in classroom, try learning all the forms of the word particular word, and then and butter the using the prepositions that usually used before it and after it. For example, rather than just the word depend, make to a note to depend on, yeah, depending upon, to be dependent on, a dependent. Yes, this is the one of the tips for expanding vocabulary. The next one is mastering and remembering English spellings. One can one must know how to spell these words correctly. Incorrect spellings changes the meaning of your sentences. For instance, bear and beer sound the same, but bear means uncovered and beer is a wild animal. This is a tip here. Practice your spellings and using flashcards and test yourself whenever you have some spare time. Practice your spellings by frequently writing them. The next one is reading regularly and widely. Yes, if uh, you want to pen down your ideas, so first you have to grasp some knowledge, some awareness regarding to the content where you are going to writing in form. So it is required and most skill you need to be read regular and not a particular limited a textbook. How much you can expand yourself having some kind of literature. We also learn to write best by reading. It is a great way to get an idea of different styles of writing and see how to use words appropriately. Someone already mentioned here, if you read a lot, then definitely you will respond and to a lot. There is a tip here for reading regularly. Read books, comics, magazines, newspapers, and articles that interest you. Read each text several times to make sure you understand how to use new words and expressions in the context. In the context means in the real context, existential, or reality wherever our learners live. Next is tip is how can we improve grammar. The grammar, as I think you must have gone to the grammar section. Participants, hello. Have you gone to the grammar session or not? Hello. Surendra sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Just I wanted to know, have you gone through the grammar session or not? But in the writing skills, there is a tip also. How can we improve grammar in the writing form? The grammar, as we all know, that grammar is very important because it improves the quality of your writing. Always use the appropriate tenses. Our learners get always get difficulties in the tenses, simple tense or past tense or perfect tense. So, which is the best use of the appropriate tense? And remember to use punctuation. Punctuation is a great way to make your writing clear and fluent. Sometimes it may distort the meaning of the sentences. Here, tip is focus upon the uses more and rules. Let them deduce the pattern and use it the correctly. Yeah, here for class ninth, the writing section is catered for 10 marks here. We will have two questions in the examination paper. The first question will have writing a descriptive paragraph. Word limit will be in between 100 to 120 words on a person or a diary entry based on visual or verbal cues. One out of two questions is to be answered by our student for 5 marks. This is the one of the question. Second question will be on writing a story. Word limit is also the same. The previous question, 100 and 120 words on the basis of the given cues. One out of the two questions is to be answered. So I mean there will be two questions, but they have the choices in between them. One for descriptive writing or diary entry. One is the completely for two writing stories. They have to opt only one for 5 marks. The writing section is for the class ninth is for 10 marks. In the earlier, previous classes, we also have gone to the letter for a situation or descriptive paragraph on a place or event. But for this year, this part, yani this portion has been reduced from the syllabus. For the class 10th, it is also same 10 marks like ninth standard. One will be formal letter for word limit will be 100 to 120 words. It will be given on a situation. One out of two questions they have to be answered. In the ninth standard, they have two options. Number one, descriptive paragraph or diary entry. But here for the 10th standard, they are compelled to they have to write on the formal letter. Second question will be writing an analytical paragraph. Yes, this year has been changed. Last year was the short story or article or a descriptive paragraph. But Here, there is the only one option here. They have to write for an analytical paragraph. Word limit will be the same 100 to 120 words based on a given outline. Outline, they may have outline, they may have a data chart, pie chart, cues, or some pictures, maybe some pictures. One out of two questions is to be answered for 5 marks. So that's why we have a writing section for 10 marks, but it is the all the portion, yani all the examination of 80 or 100 marks is going to be written form. So that's why it has a wide role how our learners can write correct and fluent and with the relevance of the coherence in the content. Writing, writing for formal letters, yes. Can anyone suggest me what are the formal letters? Shurichi, good afternoon. Good, thank you. Good afternoon. Huh. Participants, what are the formal letters?
Sir, a letter written to an office is called a formal letter.
A letter to written for
An office.
office. Okay, officially, yes, we can. Thank you, Praveen sir. Yes,
Yes, sir, it's Shilpi here. The
yes,
formal letters
Silpi.
are written for the organization and authorities. They are written in a formal way where the a person should be the a particular person of that organization is for that person the letter is being written, and it must be in a formal way. Even all the parts of the formal letter have a particular, like it has subjects, substitution, and so.
Thank you, Silpi. Yes, Sonia, these are the official letter. Yes, Syam Singh, formal letter for any formal organization. Yes, for particular officials. Yes. For the 10th standard, the expectation from the writing skills is has they have to write the letter only formal letters, not the informal letter. There are four types of letters has been suggested to our learners. Number one, complaint letter. Number two, inquiry letter. Number three, placing orders or letter to the editor. Yes, Deepa, you want to say something? Yes, Deepa, you have raised your hand. Do you want to say something? Okay. There is a questionnaire to learn format of the letter for the formal letter. Whenever you are going to enhance the capability of the writing a formal letter among your students, so there is a questionnaire to learn format of the letter. This you can also arrange an activity in your classroom. This you have just elicited means you have to just find out the some terms for letter writing. Who writes the letter? You can ask the questions and learners might have give the responses. If you ask who writes the letter, the students will be the answers. Who writes the letter? I write the letters. Yeah, my mother writes a letter, my father writes a letter. So then you can also send, if you are writing a letter, yani you are sending the letter, so you are the sender. So you have just focus on their integrated with the terms of the yani their imaginary in the writing skills. Next one is when was the letter written? Yes, you can ask the student when was the written. So probably students will reply, yo, I have written yesterday on the 14th December. I wrote the letter in the previous month in the 20th November. So which date you have written the letter? Yes, I have written on the 1st January. Whom the letter was written to? Yes. Whom? The probably our learners will reply like this. Yes, I have written to my brother, to my father, to my grandmother, yeah, to my yeah, suppose if he or she likes a celebrity also, so maybe Sachin Tendulkar or maybe Shah Rukh Khan. So, yani you can say that if they receive their letters, so then now how what will you call him? Yani ki he is the receiver. So you can just prompt some in short and easier sentences, having some questionnaire yani in the simple and short sentences. Next is reason for writing for the letter. Yes, why did you write the letter? Or you can say, what is the content in your letter? So just you can say, okay, why did you? So probably student will be the answer the what was the reason or what was the matter for regarding the particular reason. What is the issue and problems? Yes. Is there any issue, any problems in your letter? Suppose, student asked to his father, "Okay, I need to be some rupees. I want to go in my any school picnic party, or they have some kind of, he or she wants to purchase some kind of books for their forthcoming examination like that. So is there any issue or problem? So you can just ask, they have to find their answers. How this issue and problem affected lives? Yes, this is the description of the problem. You have just questionnaire for the come to the formal letters, to come to the official letters. Here is ये आपको दिखाई दे रहा है सभी को? Dear participants, if I raise this control plus, is it visible right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There is a format of a official letter, formal letter. So, dear participants, can you find the some errors in this template here, in this format? Do you get any kind of format? What you guess? This is a template of formal letter. Can you guess, is there any error? Blur on picture. Okay. Formal letter format. Yes, 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 Sunaina.
Sir, I think there is an error in complementary clause.
Okay, complimentary clause. Thanking you.
Not and after that, yours sincerely, faithfully, and something not clearly visible to me.
Okay, now you are right, sir, Praveen, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Compliment thanking you. Generally, in these days, we have changed the format. I think there is no requirement, thanking you. Yes, yes, you are right, thanking you. Format, how can I share this? ये blur हो रहा है, मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ. Yes. Let us see. Is this screen visible? I think control minus.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Now look this letter
Yes, sir. Visible.
and read it. Is this correct? Is this correct? Or it need to be some changes here? This is a formal letter. In the last screen, we couldn't find the particularly due to the blur, blur of the screen. So we missed some points like the sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject, salutation, body, compliment, clause, or sentence name, like that. This is the particular, format of this letter writing. Now, is it the perfect or it need to be some changes? It
जी सर।
three, Vanya Behar Vaisali. After that, what about dates?
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है हम अच्छा से अच्छा अच्छा सारा तक पहुंच गई।
तो ठीक आ रहा है, उस सर की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है उनकी आरपी की।
You are now quoted. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर
I think
सर
there
आपको
was.
सुन पा रहे हैं? यस सर.
Okay, sir. Don't know. There is a technical problem. What is technical problem? There is the subject here. After subject, after the receiver said the student may have point out the sir or madam. There is a body of the letter is formal letter. It is divided in the three steps. Yani. Number one, it is mentioning about the introduction of the topic, introduction of the letter. Second one is main content. Third one is the poor condition. It is the conclusory, any conclusions having some suggestions also. After that, that is the complementary clause. Is there here? No, I think there is nothing here. Thanking, yeah, thank you so much. No, no, no. Just they have to mention, sender's name. Complimentary clause, you can write yours faithfully, or yours truly, yeah, yours sincerely, but in the official, for concerning to ourselves to other office, generally we write yours faithfully. So this is the format of a letter regarding to the editor, but from the in our syllabus we have a letter format of different letter to the editor, and letter to a complaint letter regarding a particular problem, letter for any inquiry letter, and letter to for a placing an order. In the one letter, in out of four, students may have the answer for their examination. So you have to elicitate, having the questionnaire, having some tips from your learners in your classroom. Hello, am I audible?
Sir.
Okay. Where is the PPT? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. I think I need to be. There is my PPT is stuck right now,
Sir, visible. PPT is visible, sir.
but it is not forwarding any for next slides. Just when I. Yes, it is the connected here.
Circles.
Share. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. The PPT was strict there. Uh, Hello, sir.
सर पीपीटी को मैंने शेयर कर दिया है।
Okay, sir. Okay, so let me. Okay. Where are you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hmm. With the chat. Yes, sir. So, dear participant, this is the formal letter. This is the one of the letter. Now, sir, next slide, please.
यस सर।
Next slide. Participants, this is the article writing. For the article writings, the expectations from the learners needs to be some creative, some imagery, some good vocabulary, and some kind of knowledge for the regarding the subject or the content, and some organizing the ideas. The whenever the learners is writing an article, so what how the learners can frame in the organization of the beautifying the words and operating the in the sentences and simple and short sentences. Yes, next slide, sir.
यस सर।
I think right now I also can share. If stop your screen share, so now I can share myself.
यस सर।
uh, Share, AU writing. Where is the AU writing? इतना एनिमेशन डाला है कि बहुत ज्यादा। Yes, yes, this is the article writing. This is the format. Format for the article writing, heading or a title, it should be in centered. Students, they have to write by their his name, because in the paper, in the examination question paper, the name is given. You are Rahul, and you have to write an article regarding the school functions, or you can say any event if they have celebrated in their previous knowledge. So they have to write by also. This is the body. The first para, introduction, start with slogan, a question, an amazing fact or figure or statement, they have to also write second or third para clauses, effect, present, state of affairs, etc. The fourth para they have give the some solutions, some yani, conclusions, drawing the problem. There are some uh, articles which are we have main features generally asked from our students: gender equality, travel and tourism, mobile phones, a modern utility of a health hazard, need to educate the little girl, terrorism, a threat to humanity, need for afforestation, COVID, pandemic and response. This is the present scenario of the world. Uh, Mind map, dear students, there is a very beautiful activity here. Mind map. Can anyone just guess and just put your ideas in chat box? What is mind map? If you have gone through the mind map, what is mind map? Hello. Yeah. Can anyone suggest what is mind map? We can also use the mind map in the article writing. Yes. This is the structure of a mind map. You have to put the particular term or particular word in the center and just having the questions: why is the topic, why is the so important, how, who, purpose and what. So this is the mind map. You can also use the sum of mind map, some points on the paper. A student may have illustrate their points and they have to, it is easier for them how they write the article writing. This is the new for this year. An analytical paragraph, yes. This is the first time for 10th stand this year. Writing analytical paragraph for 5 marks, 100 to 120 words. Student have to attempt one. Someone can unmute yourself. The voice is echoing, and voice is interrupting. Students have attempt one out of two. They might be have visuals as well as verbal or textual inputs. They have skill involved analysis and evaluation. The rubrics for this analytical paragraph is the 3 marks is divided for content, 2 marks for the expression. The in the expression, students might have some give their responses in the grammatical accuracy for 1 marks and the appropriate words and spellings for 1 marks also. Cohesion via connecting ideas, logical progression and coherence through relevance of ideas. These are the some outcomes which is to be expected to ask from the learners in for the 10th standard examination this year. And the first time, this is the first time. For instance, for example, uh, we have a pie chart here. Yes, I would suggest you, all of you, read this one and just guess what the what the this pie graph is telling about. What the main points which is to be occurrence in the analytical paragraph. Dear participants, can you understand what is the analytical paragraph? Hello?
Sir, may I?
Yes. I
In
can't see.
analytical writing, we always make comparison, or count the differences between the data given. So
Yes,
here
yes.
there are two data given between cultural and leisure activity of boys and girls. So we can make comparison between both of the data with the help of pies given.
Yes, thank you, sir. Can I have your name? I don't find where you are actually. Hello. Okay. My chat box. Where is my chat box? Okay, net. Hmm. Analytical paragraph, as sir said, it is a, you have to analyze in the critical appreciation, having the some fact and figures. In this pie graph, pie graph, there is a fact here. It, for the cultural boys in the cultural and leisure activities, the students like basketball 26%, soccer 17%, reading a very less than 2%, rather than the girls, they like 21%. Don't know it is true or not. In the computer game, students like 34% and girls 16%. Skating 11%, where girls use netball practices. Listening music 10%. These are the same quality to boys and girls. Dancing is 27%, but in the pie graph, it is exceptional, I think, right now. This is the any comparing and contrasting of using some these kind of pie graph or graphics in the cultural and leisure activities. Uh, how much boys and girls engage in this information. So they have to interpret using these collecting ideas, gathering some informations. They have to describe and analyzing with evidences in their brainstorming, thinking ideas, having in from the our learners. Yes, now having this paragraph, this is the particular by XYZ had mentioned an analytical paragraph which is written 100 to 140 words. Yeah. Can anyone read this one? We just want to, is this the fact based or this is the using some imagery or creativity or not? What the pie जो visual graph what shows in regarding the cultural and leisure activities that keep children busy? Yes, in comparing and contrasting the both the gender, girls and boys. Yes, I don't have the participant name here. Where are the name? Voluntarily, any participants can read this one, this information.
So may I?
Yes, yes, Sonia.
So the culture and leisure activities that keep children busy by XYZ. The given data shows how the children are spending their time in cultural and leisure activities. The boys and the girls seem to have different interests at some levels, but one thing that can be seen prominently is that both like listening to music in equal measures of 10% each. There is a bigger percentage of girls than boys which enjoys reading. Girls are a big 22% as compared to 2% boys. The physical activities and sports that girls and boys take up shows a lot of variety. At one place where 53% of the girls,
Yes.
just wait, sir, scroll it. At one
Oh,
place where 53%
oh.
of the girls' physical activities includes netball, gymnastics, and dancing. The 54% of boys take up soccer, basketball, and skateboarding. The boys take almost double of what girls take up in computer games. The percentage of girls dancing is 27% is comparable to the boys who engage in basketball. We are able to see the comparison as well as difference between the varied interest of boys and girls from the given pie charts.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is the analytical paragraph I wanted to show you. How the analytical paragraph cater to the evidences using the bar graph or pie chart or having some visual pictures, or how much the our learners compare and contrast in the analytical way, how much they interpret these information regarding in their for writing. So this year, this is the new for our learners and our teachers also. Analytical paragraph. We have already given answered our student and teachers had a lot of experience. The descriptive paragraph, we have a lot of experience have in this categorization. Now this is the diary entry. Now I will move fast. Diary entry. Diary entry, this is the format. We have to begin right from the left side. Top side, mention the date, day and time. Mostly tenses used the past, any events, past occurrences also, and or you can say present perfect. It is something need to be revised, or you have to plan to. Yes, I went to the market today, but I returned back due to some an unavoidable work. I wanted to purchase some goods for my home, my family, but I will go. So yes, you can just refer in the future also, future simple tense. Generally, the diary entry is written in the first person from the using the I. If you are have the experiences of the past things or past items, you can write collaboratively, but most of time I. Putting it in a box makes or it look neat. Yes, always remember diary. Diary of a young girl. There is a lesson also. You will have some clues for the writing. What kind of sentences and what beautiful words. See, Helen Anne Frank, and Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Anne Frank framed in her diary. Artist for the diary entry. Yes, I am going to first 5 or 6 minutes. Begin the entry with the general sentence, describe the day. In the body, discuss on event, feeling towards it. Conclude with final remark and future course of action. Here I have a diary here. This is the sample. It we have taken from the diary of young girl from the Anne Frank. Yes, date, day, timing. Some students don't mention the time. If you want mention time, it is good or doesn't matter time. Date, day, and dear Kitty here. She mentioned her diary name Kitty also. Yes, this is the diary format. Okay, remember? Yes, I am moving. I'm not reading right now. Story writing. Story writing for this year, it will have a uh, for ninth standard. Yeah. Tips to be shared with the student for writing a story. Yes, always write in the small and short sentences. Use only one tense, preferably simple past tense. Write a title related to the theme and preferably a short one. Narrative can be first and second or third. It should be the same thoughtful. In the literature part, the prose part, you will discuss about the setting of a a story, setting of a character, setting of a narrative, setting of atmosphere, setting of organization, any actions. So like that, narrative can be in the first person I view, second person you, or third person he see it. Encourage student to be creative. There is nothing right and wrong on a story, but ensure the event are proper sequences. Ever too long or too short dialogues? Yes, a student might have some short and simple sentences. This is the structure of a narrative put in order. I hope this feature of the writing a short story or telling a story, you will have gone through the reading part, in reading part of the setting of a story. How can we set the story, having the narratives, having the point of view, having the atmosphere, having the moving the action one in act 1 or act 2, act 3. Yes, so this is here also we have mentioned structure of a narrative, yani put in orders. Number one, orientation, yani what is the sequences of series of events and ordering of the events, and what is the complications, and what is the resolution. Yes, this is the short story here. On the basis of the frame to be good is novel. This is the very simple and short story. You can see here this Radha, a young girl of 11 years, had this peculiar habit of making fun of others. She was very naughty. She was a lazy fellow and had no interest in study. You can see here the sentences are very simple and very short. The student also need to be put their ideas regarding particular, it is maybe a diary entry, or it may be the article writing, or it may be the letter writing, as well as the short story writing, is simple and the relevance with the content, short story. Yes, this was the sample. Okay, now anyone have any question right now? I have 2 minutes now. Any question,
Sir, please share this in
dear
Telegram group.
participants?
Sir, sir, am I
Ah,
audible?
yes, yes, yes. Ah,
Sir, please share this
yes, yes, you are audible.
Telegram in Telegram group. Sir, please share this. This is very useful.
Yes, yesterday's poetry session, yani PPT, I have already mentioned to Chanchal ma'am. And yes, I will share both of these PPT yesterday and today also. I have a one more session regarding the process and product in the writing skills. Actually, this was the completely theoretical part. I have one more part of the theoretical. My co-facilitator, Miss Garma, will have some activities on this, any writing practices also. So now, before leaving the session, I have a short video for you. Writing videos. Narrating, huh? Yes. आपका पैसा। Any question, participants, from my side? Any question? Surender sir, I have completed from my side. It is 3:30. Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to finish right now. Yes. If any
Thank you,
question,
sir.
they can ask me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Here. Okay. हाँ.
साथियों साथियों अभी 30 मिनट्स का ब्रेक रहेगा, उसके बाद अपने सेशन को कंटिन्यू करेंगे विद डॉक्टर पूनम मैम।
पूनम मैम।
साथियों आफ्टर 30 मिनट्स के बाद हम दोबारा मिलते हैं। वैसे मैडम ब्रेक नहीं करना, अपने लगातार चेक कर रखना इसको। कर लेता हूँ मैं तो, मेरा क्या जा रहा है।
Yeah.
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन. सॉरी थोड़ा सा लेट हो गई ज्वाइन करने में.
पूनम मैम नमस्कार.
तो आज का जो हमारा सेशन है मेरा अभी प्रोज पर है, जिसके 2 सेशन होंगे. तो आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के सेशन में. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट आवर सेशन एंड थैंक यू चंचल मैम फॉर इन्फॉर्मिंग मी. प्लीज शिफ्ट माय वीडियो हियर. स्लाइड मोड पे लगा दो इसको. स्लाइड. ओके, स्लाइड शो. My PPT, my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as we all know, we are all from English literature. So, prose is very important part of our teaching skill.
Yes, ma'am.
The bones of grammar. As you all know, if someone wants to read first quotations from the PPT. The flesh of prose gets its shape and strength from the bones of grammar. If anyone want to explain this, unmute yourself and share your view, please. Okay, no one wants to share, so let's move ahead. A prose writer gets tired of writing prose and wants to be a poet, so he begins every line with a capital letter and keeps on writing prose. By Samuel McCord Crothers. There are beautiful quotations given by some writers here. So now, what do you mean by prose? Now it's need to clear the meaning of the prose. Prose is the spoken or written language in its ordinary form without material structures. Prose does not pay attention to rhyme and rhythm. In prose, instead of prose versus, we can compare both of the statement written by the writers. Prose is written in more natural and grammatical language. Now, what is not related to prose? Verse is the writing arranged with a metrical rhythm, typically having a rhyme. It is about prose and poetry. Verses pays attention to rhyme and rhythm also in poetry. In verse, ideas are written in lines. Lines are grouped in stanza. As you all know, prose is not fixed with any kind of structure or format. Verse is written in figurative and rhythmic language. It is about poetry writing. Now, kinds of prose. As we all know, there are so many kinds of written text and written stories, content. We have to choose to write in a particular title. Like, for example, the short stories. As we all know, from the beginning, we are starting to read this kind of stories. Like there is a book, Jungle Stories and 100 Words Stories, short stories. Listen, a famous story about something very famous personality. Fairy tales, letters, folk tales, memories, novels, short stories, fables, myths, etc. It is about all fiction and non-fiction. What do you mean by non-fiction? For example, some reports, personal narratives, memories, letters, articles, general biographies. This is related with some personalities, some incidents, some memories, is non-fictions. Now some more components of prose writing is fantasy, illustrations, stories, make-believe, read for entertaining, facts about non-fictions, These are, and now non-fictions news. Facts, photographs, true stories can be proven, read for information. It is about non-fictions. As we all discussed, अभी हमने बात की जिसमें हमने मेमोरीज की बात की, जो किसी पर्टिकुलर पर्सन की हो सकती है, बायोग्राफी की बात की, लेटर की बात की हमने, तो वो नॉन फिक्शंस में आते हैं. Now fictions about realistic, historical, science, mysteries, fantasies, fairy tales, folk tales, related with fiction story, which is more depends on our imaginations. Non-fiction, biography, reference, autobiography, informal newspaper, etc. So there are so many reading materials in our English language, which is categorized due to their specialties. Now prose types, what kind of prose we are usually having in our language teaching and learning. There is non-fiction. This can also be called informational material. It provides information that is factual. Nothing is make-believe in these types of materials. It has some practical utility. More specific examples of these genre would be like biographies, a true accounts of a personal life, written, composed, produced by another. As we all know, the famous autobiography written in our English 10th, first flight, second chapter, Nelson Mandela. As we all know about it. And my childhood story in 9th class about Abdul Kalam. This is about a particular incident of a famous personalities. Now, autobiographies, the biography of a person written by that person. As you all know, the making of scientist is written by some other person. Now, histories, a chronic. PPT, please. PPT पीछे वाली आगे PPT side. Next. Okay. Now, prose, some types of fictions. Each type of fictions has distinct characteristics. Now, short stories have some different kind of specialties. Usually 5 to 20 pages about short stories that we all know. A colorful pictures and some dialogues and pictures included in short stories. A few characters work through a series of events and a conflict leading to climax and resolution. Participants, you are all requested to share in chat box some short stories, please. As we all so familiar about some stories, you can share in your chat box and you can share through unmute yourself. Some title of some short story, yes. Bholi, very nice, sir. Thank you. Some more sharing, please. As we all know, so many stories are there, like monkey and turtle, lion and the mouse. Yes, a necklace from Snelata, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Please, more sharing. As we all know, we are language teacher and we are familiar with so many short kind of stories. So please, some more sharing. And if someone wants to share with or with audience, please unmute yourself and share some story. The last leaf, very nice. It's about a girl. Praveen sir, very nice. If someone want to share any favorite story, they can share, please. Unmute yourself and you can share. I'm waiting for sharing in chat box. Or you can unmute yourself. I want to hear about some stories. Short stories. Yes, Rose and the Nightingale, very nice. And some stories we have also in our childhood and our students' time, we have recalled them. The Happy Prince from 9th class, Nilata ma'am, thank you so much. We can share even without syllabus also. There is so many starting story, and we have that Jungle Book Panchatantra. Panchatantra stories are very familiar with all. Yes, the monkey and crocodile. Sonia Verma ma'am, thank you so much. Thirsty Crow, very nice. Deepa ma'am. Best Friend, The Greedy Dog, and yes, Beast and Beauty. Wow. There is a picture also related with this title. Yes. Now, Kabuliwala by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, recall some more stories if you can. Famous story about Cinderella, fairy tales. You can unmute yourself also if someone want to share. Yes, Subedar Raj, after 30 years. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much. A few characters works through a series of events and a conflict leading to climax and resolution. As we all know, Cinderella is beautiful story with good climax. And we have also know about that some tit for tat kind of stories and greedy dog also. And there is a rabbit and lion story. The Loyal Mongoose, very nice. Sonia Verma, ma'am. There is also we have a storybook in our school. So move to the next point. If someone want to share his or her favorite story, you may please. Any favorite story? Ant and the Grasshopper. Yes, this is a poetry also. If someone wants to share a favorite story, any favorite character, like a greedy dog is very famous character. When we someone need more things, we also compare. You are greedy like a greedy dog. So these are some stories famous with our personalities and with our childhood and with our life also. So now you move to the novel, The Gold Watch. Very nice. थैंक यू रेप्यूंजल मैम ने शेयर किया वाओ फेरी टेल्स आ गई हैं यहाँ पर the story about golden hair and Amanda, our poetry related with this Rapunzel story also. So thank you everyone for sharing. Now move next content is novel. As a fiction, we are all very familiar about novel, and we have in our syllabus. The last 2 years we are not in our syllabus. There are so many kind of novels in our 9th and 10th, like Gulliver Travels, Diary of Young Girl, and Invisible Man, and so many novels are there. But today we are not related with any kind of novel in 9th or 10th. Revolutions, very nice. Usually 100 pages. What is the structure of a novel? We have to know about it. कि novel क्या होता है, उसके content क्या होते हैं. There is a story, a continuing long story, usually 100 pages or more. You meet lots of characters, see subverbals within the main plot, and explore many themes and conflicts. As we all know, so many novels are related with some movies also, as that Mela Achal by Fanishwar or Nag Renu, and so many. If you someone wants to share some novel name also, there are famous writer in novel writing. Yes, Chokor Bali, very nice. Some novel sharing, please. You can share Swami and his friends, Praveen Kumar Shukla. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Very nice sharing. Someone, please. Yes, the guide, Praveen Kumar Shukla again. You can share your favorite novel also. The God of Small Things, Sonia ma'am. Thank you. Deepa ma'am. Great expectation from Subedar Raj, sir. I'm waiting some sharing. The Invisible Man, yes, Sonia ma'am. And the famous novel from Chetan Bhagat, you can also share. The Half Girlfriend, Black Beauty from Harsha. Yes, yes, yes sir, Wuthering Heights, yes. मैंने भी पढ़ा है सर, ये बहुत अच्छा नॉवल है. यस यस, गुलिवर ट्रेवल्स, यस सर, ये हमारे सिलेबस में था, अब नहीं है 10th क्लास में. हाँ, प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस, यस. डेविड मैं पढ़ नहीं पाई सर पूरा. थ्री मिस्टेक्स ऑफ माई लाइफ, प्रवीण मैम, प्रवीण सर. द टेल ऑफ जल्दी जल्दी, द स्टोरी ऑफ माई लाइफ, यस. ये हमारे सिलेबस के हैं थोड़े से, हमने बच्चों को भी पढ़ाया काफी. सो वी आर ऑल फेमिलियर about the structure of novel. Room on the roof, very nice. Sir, ये वर्जीना वुल्फ मैम का है ना? Room on the roof. A writer? I am not clear. Ruskin Bond, very nice. The Shadow Lines, so many novels. List is there, prepared by you all peoples. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. So we are all know about novel. If someone want to share about any favorite novel or stories or specialties, you may share please. If anyone want. So let's move. Novella. A short novel, longer than a short story, but shorter than a novel. It is also a kind of fiction. कोई शेयर करें इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा. हाँ जी, 100 पेज से कम है बट एक स्टोरी से लंबा है. नोवेला. Recall some reading from you all, and you can share please about novella. Godan is a story written by Munshi Premchand. A long story but not a novel. You may share some more please. Okay, no sharing. Am I audible to all of you? I think I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Audible.
Yeah, yes. So you people don't have any example of novella? A short kind of novel.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, share some example if you want. Okay, folk tale, very familiar with our life also. Yes, Heart of Darkness. Yes, Sonia ma'am, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Often a mythical stories with no known author passed down by word of mouth. फोक टेल जो हमने सुनी है, सुनी सुनाई जिसको हम कहते हैं ना, क्या बोलते हैं, दंत कथाएं. आपने सुना होगा, जो मैंने भी सुनी, मेरे पेरेंट्स ने भी सुनी, वो उनके पेरेंट्स ने भी सुनी. और जो सुनते सुनते हम, जैसे हम, वो एक राजा था, एक रानी थी. क्रिसमस कैरोल, वेरी वेरी नाइस कोमल मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. तो फोक टेल का कोई टाइटल नहीं होता. फोक टेल ऐसे ही फेमिलियर होती है, राजा रानी की कहानियां जो हम कई बार बच्चों को बेड टाइम स्टोरी के रूप में हम सुनाते हैं. तो कोई फेमस फोक टेल कोई अगर बताना चाहे जो स्पेशली हम अपने बच्चों को बहुत सुनाते हैं. पंचतंत्र स्टोरीज के बारे में बात हो रही है. यस, पंचतंत्र में हमारे जो इमेजिनरी कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं वो सारे एनिमल हैं. बच्चे पूछते हैं कि क्या हाथी बोलता है, क्या घोड़ा चलता है, घोड़ा क्या बोलता है, बोल के एक्शंस की हम बात करते हैं, तो हम वहां पे फोक टेल में भी आता है वो. नाइस. मोस्टली राजा रानी की कहानी हम बच्चों को जो सुनाते हैं अपने, वो सारी फोक टेल से रिलेटेड है. और कुछ कहानियों का तो हमें मतलब हम उसके डीप में ही नहीं जाते, बट हम सुनते आ रहे हैं और इंजॉय करते हैं और उसको आगे अपने बच्चों को सुना रहे हैं, उनके बच्चे आगे सुनेंगे. तो ऐसे करके पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी वो दंत कथाएं हमारी फोक टेल चलती आ रही, जो फेमस है. लेकिन वो उनका कोई वो नहीं है, स्पेशलाइजेशन नहीं है कि वो कहाँ से आई, और हमने कभी उसमें जानने की कोशिश भी नहीं की कि उसका राइटर कौन है या वो किसने डेवलप की. हमने कभी भी उसको जानने की कोशिश नहीं की. So now we are moved, yes, fairy tales, yes ma'am, thank you so much. Now actually कुछ tales तो हमें रिटर्न में है, फेरी टेल हमें मोस्टली लिखी हुई मिली है, बट बिना लिखे हुए भी हमने बहुत सारी कहानी अपने पेरेंट्स से सुनी होगी। द स्टोरी ऑफ क्वीन, वेरी नाइस मैम। मैं थोड़ा सा पढ़ पाई, वो हट गया वहां से। तो now we are going to move to our contact. What kind of fiction we have in our teaching? The Sound of Music, Bismillah Khan. It is non-fiction because it is about a particular character. तो जो कैरेक्टर लाइव है, जिनके बारे में थोड़ा सा हमें जानकारी मिली, उनके बारे में लिख दिया, तो इट इज नॉन फिक्शन स्टोरी. My childhood non-fiction story, I have already earlier shared with you all about. Please, someone want to reflect about this story because these are all related with our syllabus also. Please, someone, please read it. Unmute yourself and you can share. क्योंकि वन वे सेशन जाता है तो थोड़ा सा लगता है कि सामने जो सब बैठे हैं उनको भी मौका मिलना चाहिए, और आप लोग प्लीज पार्टिसिपेट बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. So please, someone unmute yourself and read all these title.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Sound of Music.
Yes.
Bismillah Khan.
Yes.
The fun they had. A truly
Yes.
beautiful night. Reach for the top.
Yes. And Kathmandu.
Yes, ma'am.
From 9th class. Suman ma'am, if you want to elaborate first story, because in this story, I think we have two parts. The Sound of Music.
Ma'am, Evelyn and Bismillah Khan, two characters.
Yes. Ma'am, some specialties about character and event, please. कि थोड़ा सा आप रिफ्लेक्ट करें कि ये स्टोरी किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है.
Bismillah Khan, he was a famous Shehnai player, and in this story it is mentioned that though he was Momden, but he used to play this Shehnai in Hindu temple also, on our
Yes.
holy river, on the bank of holy river also, and he was given the option in New York.
Yes.
To establish his own institute, but he refused.
Yes. And the famous line, yes ma'am, the famous line he told about Ganga.
Sorry, don't remember, ma'am.
I want to share कि उनको कहा गया कि आपका इंस्टीट्यूट, आपकी आवाज इतनी अच्छी है, आप बहुत अच्छे म्यूजिशियन हैं, तो आप आइए और न्यूयॉर्क में अपना इंस्टीट्यूट खोलिए और यहाँ पर आपको सारी सुविधाएं हम देंगे. तो बिस्मिल्ला खान जी उनको जवाब देते हैं कि आप सब कुछ मुझे देंगे, लेकिन वो रिवर गंगा आप वहां कैसे लेके जाएंगे जो मेरी भारत भूमि पे है खाली. तो मैं मुझे जो संगीत आता है वो गंगा नदी से आता है और मैं वहां पर वो नहीं दे पाऊंगा आपको. तो ये जो शेयरिंग मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि ये जो वर्ड्स है ना उनके, ये हमारे देश प्रेम दिखाते हैं, और साथ में देखिए उनको इतना लालच दिया गया, बट ही वॉज ट्रूली टैलेंटेड एंड डिवोटेड टू हिज कंट्री. वो नहीं जाते हैं उस जगह को छोड़कर. तो थैंक यू सो मच सुमन मैम, बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुली आपने शेयरिंग की. माय चाइल्डहुड स्टोरी also is a non fiction. If someone else wants to share, please.
Ma'am, this is about Abdul Kalam.
Yes.
Dr. Abdul Kalam की story है, ma'am. In this, his childhood days are mentioned, that how he went to his teacher's home, and
Yes.
his wife discriminated.
Hmm.
And he felt, but the teacher didn't let him feel so bad, and he was the very childhood period of his. He was very much well mannered, and his parents, they disciplined him, and later on, matlab, he was
Yes.
selling इमली थन क्या थी?
Imli seeds, yes ma'am. Tamarind seeds.
Yes, that was his first song. And
ओके, स्टोरी तो यस, थैंक यू सुमन मैम. स्टोरी तो ऑलमोस्ट हम सबने ही पढ़ी है, और 9th क्लास की हमारा ये 5th या 4th चैप्टर है फर्स्ट फ्लाइट का. आई थिंक 5th नहीं है, 6th आई है. 5th तो हैप्पी प्रिंस है शायद. तो मैं ये बताना चाह रही थी कि माई चाइल्डहुड स्टोरी में जो हमने अभी, मैम आपने स्टोरी इलेबोरेट करने की बात की, बहुत अच्छा आपने थोड़ा सा बताया, लेकिन इसका मेन इसमें भी वही है कि हिंदू और मुस्लिम की जो फ्रेंडशिप है वो क्लासरूम वाला जो इंसिडेंट है वो बच्चों को जब अलग कर देते हैं कि एक आगे पीछे बैठेगा एक पीछे बैठेगा, तो उसको लेकर वो किस तरह से वहां पे बच्चे रिएक्ट करते हैं, टीचर रिएक्ट करते हैं, उनको कहा जाता है कि बच्चों में ये चीज नहीं होती है, उनको पढ़ाने वाले हम टीचर ही होते हैं, तो कोई शास्त्री जी होते हैं जो इस चीज को उठाते हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इसमें भी अब्दुल कलाम की भी जो लाइफ है वो किससे जुड़ी थी, वहां पे जो टेम्पल है उससे जुड़ी हुई है, रामेश्वरम की बात है ये। और उनकी बचपन की घटना है कि वो बचपन में किस तरह से टैमरिंड सीड को इकट्ठा कलेक्ट करके उसको बेचते थे और अपने चाइल्डहुड के लिए अपनी फैमिली को किस तरह से सपोर्ट किया करते थे। और इसमें मैम एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कोटेशन है कि जब वो उनका एडमिशन बाहर हो जाता है और वहां से वो शिफ्ट होने की बात होती है आफ्टर 8th क्लास, जो हमने पढ़ा, तो उसमें जो उनके फादर, उनकी जो माँ होती है वो बड़ा दुखी होती है कि वो बहुत लोगों को खाना खिलाते हैं और अच्छे से सर्विस करते हैं आसपास के लोगों की। एक फेमस इसमें लाइन है जो मुझे हमेशा याद रहती है कि योर चाइल्ड born फ्रॉम यू बट नॉट फॉर यू, कि तुमने उसको जन्म तो दिया है लेकिन अपने लिए नहीं। जब वो वहां से बाहर जाते हैं, याद होगा आपको, आपने जब पढ़ाया होगा चैप्टर, कि वो इस तरह की उसके फादर बोलते हैं कि तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि सिर्फ तुम्हारे बच्चे पे तुम्हारा अधिकार है, इसको जाने दो बाहर, इसकी सोच को आगे बढ़ने दो। तो फिर मदर उसको भेजने के लिए रेडी हो जाती है क्योंकि वो सबसे छोटे और सबसे फैमिली में कहा जाता है कि इस तरह के चाइल्ड थे कि उनको सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट की जरूरत होती थी। तो इस तरह से वहां से वो शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं और आगे चल के आपको पता ही है कि हमारे देश के लिए कितना उन्होंने किया। So my childhood stories non-fiction is about the life and struggle of अब्दुल कलाम, जिनको हम सभी बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं। हाँ जी, someone want to share? जी, thank you so much. Now next is the fun they had, the first chapter of our 9th main book. I think Moment or Beehive. Beehive. The fun they had. I think nowadays we are feeling like the fun they had. हमने सोचा भी नहीं था कि हम डिजिटल क्लासरूम में होंगे, बट रोबोट नहीं है, अभी हम ही लोग पढ़ा रहे हैं। बट फन दे हैड स्टोरी में ये था कि रोबोट टीचर होगा, उसमें सिस्टम लगाया जाएगा। हाँ, बिहाइव, हाँ थैंक यू मैम, बिहाइव में हमारी मेन बुक है। और जिसमें दो बच्चे हैं जो अलग अलग क्लास लेते हैं और टीचर है जो रोबोटिक है, जिसमें सिस्टम सारा फीड किया जाता है और वो किस तरह से उस टीचर से पढ़ना नहीं चाहते। और फिर उस बच्चे को जब बुक मिल जाती है, एक डायरी मिलती है दादाजी की, जिसमें दादाजी ने हमारे लाइव स्कूल्स के बारे में लिखा हुआ है, जो बहुत ही पुरानी किताब, उनको डायरी मिल जाती है। और द फन दे हैड जो टाइटल दिया गया हम लोगों के लिए दिया गया कि स्कूल जिनका है, तो ये 2025 के फिक्शन है स्टोरी की, 25 में ऐसा होगा आई थिंक। एम आई क्लियर? 2005 की बात ये हो रही है कि 25वीं सदी में ऐसा होगा कि कंप्यूटर ही टीचर होंगे।
Ma'am, the first time these two kids saw the real book, na, that's why they were so much that this is the
Yes,
book.
ma'am, please share about ma'am something more about the fun they had.
Ma'am, there were two kids while searching in the old trunk, I think. They got a real book.
Yes, Martha
And
and
they were
Tommy,
very
right?
much
Thank you,
surprised
ji.
they were very much
Yes,
surprised to see that because everything for them was their computer. And the school
yes,
was also their bedroom.
yes,
And in that, the robotic person and the computer mechanic, है ना, he used
yes,
to come and speed it up. अगर उसकी स्पीड ज्यादा हो जाती थी तो बच्चे की परफॉर्मेंस जो है वो, दो शी वाज डूइंग वेल बट शी वाज नॉट फाउंड टू बी डूइंग वेल बिकॉज उसकी स्पीड हैम्पर हो जाती है। And when
जी,
they saw that and read that, they were very much surprised कि ऐसा भी कोई टाइम होगा जहाँ पे ऐसे अच्छा रियल स्कूल होते होंगे। कितना मजा आता होगा कि चिल्ड्रन यूज्ड टू गो टू द स्कूल एंड दे यूज्ड टू प्ले टुगेदर बिकॉज दीज किड्स आर, जैसे आजकल हो रहा है कि बच्चे अपने अपने घर में अकेले ही पढ़ रहे हैं फोन के साथ, तो
जी,
इट्स दे आर ऑन, दे आर रीडिंग स्टडिंग एवरीथिंग एट देयर ओन पेस। हम लोग तो फिर भी जो है एक क्लास बच्चे जो है थोड़ा सा आपस में करते हैं, बट द कंप्यूटर इज अ सेल्फ पेसर, फॉर ईच वन देयर इज इंडिविजुअल लेसन।
यस, थैंक यू सुमन मैम, थैंक यू सो मच, आपने बहुत अच्छी शेयरिंग की। तो पार्टिसिपेंट्स आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत ही अच्छे से क्लियर हो गया कि फिक्शन स्टोरीज में जो चीजें हैं वो सब कुछ राइटर को देखना है, सोचना है, फिक्स करना है, क्योंकि उसमें उसको पहले से कुछ नहीं है। नॉन फिक्शन में आपके सारे जो एविडेंस हैं, आपके जितने भी टॉपिक्स हैं, आपके जितने भी कैरेक्टर्स हैं, इंसिडेंट है, इवेंट है, वो सारे आपको पहले से पता है। A truly beautiful mind. Next story, non-fiction. If someone wants to share, please. Someone else. सुमन मैम ने काफी अच्छी शेयरिंग की है। और भी कोई अगर शेयर करना चाहे, A truly beautiful mind. Yes, सुमन मैम again, please.
नाम याद नहीं आ रहा लेसन कौन सा था।
ये मैम 9th में ही है, ट्रूली ब्यूटीफुल माइंड चैप्टर हमारा।
मैम एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन।
Yes, yes, yes.
She was deaf
So,
and dumb and
yes,
I think.
yes, yes. Please,
Uh,
someone, if want to share, yes.
feel the beats of the sound, and then she was a very good piano player. Piano or
Ma'am,
something.
something, not piano, ma'am.
Yeah, some instrument she used
Yes,
to
yes, xylophone, I think.
sit on the wooden platform, and then she used to feel the sound, and with that sound feeling only she used to play that instrument, and that was very matlab, she became very famous also.
In this chapter, you have also so many quotations are there. If you have to recall, इतने सारे इस पे मैसेजेस दिए हुए हैं, मोटिवेशनल कोटेशंस हैं इस चैप्टर में। जब मैं इसको पढ़ाती थी तो इसमें मैं अंडरलाइन करती जाती थी कि इसमें बहुत ही ज्यादा ब्रेन और ब्यूटी और आपके आगे मोटिवेशनल कोटेशंस बहुत अच्छी दी हुई हैं इसमें। तो इसको जरूर थोड़ा सा देखिएगा आप। बहुत थोड़ा सा टफ है चैप्टर, बट अबाउट ए गर्ल आई थिंक, जो किस तरह से आगे ग्रोथ करती हुई आगे बढ़ती है। तो नेक्स्ट ये इट्स ए पार्ट्स बिफोर रीच फॉर द टॉप, है ना, ट्रूली ब्यूटीफुल माइंड अबाउट ए गर्ल, है ना, जो थोड़ा सा म्यूजिक को लेकर आगे अपनी लाइफ को, करियर को सेट करती है। आई थिंक शी वाज डेफ और डम गर्ल, आई थिंक, जहां तक मुझे याद आ रहा है। Yes, and she feels vibration on a railway platform, I think, है ना?
No, ma'am, wooden platform she used to stand on the stage.
वो इसमें थोड़ा सा बाइफर्केशन दिया ना कि उसको पहले लेग तक वाइब्रेशन होती है, फिर थोड़ा अपर बॉडी पार्ट पे होती है। वही वाला चैप्टर है ना ये मैम? थोड़ा सा जो वाइब्रेशन से म्यूजिक को सीखती है धीरे धीरे, है ना, और फिर आगे चल के बहुत ही फेमस म्यूजिशियन बन जाती है और अपना बहुत अच्छा करियर। जाइलोफोन है आई थिंक, जहां तक मुझे याद आ रहा है।
कंसर्ट्स भी होते हैं।
Pardon, please, ma'am.
Yes.
I think this story is about Einstein, not
Sir,
about
I think we are mixing two stories. The Sound of Music is the story we are discuss about. I think first part of Sound of Music, na sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I am really getting confused. A truly beautiful mind about Albert Einstein. Sir, please elaborate if you want, please.
So in this story, autobiography of Einstein has been mentioned. How he withdrawn his admission from the German school, and how he was very fond of playing with violin. And this is the story about the life journey of Einstein. And here there are also mentioned how many types of people are there whose mind are truly beautiful.
Okay, sir. Earlier he was not very much familiar with his study and school, na?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
हाँ, yes, thank you sir. Actually, I was very confused regarding making of scientist, and ये मैं थोड़ा सा confused खुद भी हो गई मैं कि truly beautiful mind एक तरफ तो लग रहा है कि ये वो वाली story है, और एक तरफ thank you sir, thank you so much for clearing. तो दिस इज स्टोरी नॉन फिक्शन अबाउट अल्बर्ट। थैंक यू सर, आपने बहुत अच्छे से सही टाइम पर हमें किया कि हम उस डिस्कशन को बढ़ाते जा रहे थे और हमारा टाइटल थोड़ा सा मिसमैच हो गया। थैंक यू। Now next story is Reach for the Top. We are very familiar about this story. Non-fiction again.
I think
Yeah, yes, yes. Santosh Yadav.
When she was very young, she was living in a small village, and her parents wanted to get her married, but she wanted to do something. She got her
Yes, yes.
admission in the college and moved to the city. And there she saw some people who were climbing the mountain,
Okay,
which
ma'am.
is a
Thank you so much, ma'am. No need to describe whole the story. We can just discuss about main characters and main events of the story. It is about how she struggled in earlier life, and very early age she reached for the top two times in her life. And it is non-fiction about a particular person. And next is Kathmandu. Kathmandu is story about a visit of the writer who wants to visit a place, and he written about some experience. It's about I think memories and like a टूरिस्ट, तो वहां पे कौन सी जगह फेमस है, वहां पे कौन सी स्पेशलिटी है, उसके बारे में हमें बताते हैं. तो थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन. वी विल कंटिन्यू टुमारो our next part of this presentation. Thank you everyone. Garima ma'am, welcome. Over to you for next session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Chanchal ma'am, do we need a break for 5 minutes or do I continue right away? Are you there, Chanchal?
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you there, Chanchal ma'am?
Stop sharing.
Okay, I'll just wait for a minute or two in case any of you wants to take a break of a minute or two. Grab some water or tea or whatever, and then we'll start in 2 minutes.
गरिमा मैम नमस्कार.
Namaskar. I can't see who is talking.
गरिमा मैम
Namaskar.
मैं सुरेंद्र, डाइट राजेंद्र नगर.
जी
आज का
नमस्कार
सेशन
सर.
को मैम मैं कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहा हूँ. प्लीज
अच्छा
स्टार्ट द
सर.
सेशन.
Okay.
आपका
I will.
स्वागत है मैम. प्लीज स्टार्ट द सेशन. ऑलरेडी पहले हम लेट हो चुके हैं मैम.
Okay.
प्लीज
So,
कंटिन्यू द सेशन.
good evening, everybody. The topic of my presentation today is grammar. I guess you have already had a session on grammar earlier. So I'll just get an idea of what grammar means to you. Could you write down on your chat boxes? What do you mean by grammar? What do you think grammar is? If you could write in the chat boxes, what do you think is grammar? Any idea? Even if we have had no session earlier, I'm sure you would have been teaching grammar for some time now. So you would know what is grammar. Is my screen visible?
Yes ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So anybody? We have all been doing grammar in our classrooms, haven't we? In every language that we speak, write, read. Okay, it's a study of language. Okay, Surinder sir. Thank you, sir, for
जी मैम.
responding. Okay, I'll keep writing it down. Okay, anybody else?
grammar teaches us how to link the words correctly.
Okay, how to link the words.
Correctly.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Rules of language. Thank you. Anybody else? Would you like to say something about grammar? Okay. So, as all of you said, grammar is a structure and system of language. Structure means, as you said, joining words, how to link the words correctly. So that's a structure. We call that structure. Well, something comes first and then something comes after that. So that is a structure. And then there's a system of language. As you said, study of language. We understand, we study what kind of system is this. Your study systems in different subjects. So grammar is also a system of language. And then we obviously have rules. So every language has some rules. This is what we do. Now we can break it down into two parts. Grammar is morphology and syntax. I'm sorry, it's there. So I would again want you to share what you think is morphology. As you said that the grammar is system, rule, and structure of language. So this could be divided into two parts, morphology and syntax. I'm sure you must have had some kind of training in morphology and syntax when you did your your course from diets, or you did your B.Ed, or you did your degrees, certificates, diplomas in teaching. So, okay. Anybody, any idea what is morphology, what is syntax? I won't have much on it because this is not what we would really be dealing with in the students. Okay. Anybody? Scientific study of sounds and words. Thank you, sir. So what would be morphology? Scientific study of sound and words. And basic structure. Thank you.
Forms of words.
Forms of words, you said? Thanks for sharing. Any idea about syntax? Okay, I'll just move on. So morphology is forms and formation of words, and syntax is sentence patterns or structures. So we'll broadly divide grammar into two parts, wherein we can study the forms and formation of words. How the words are, how do they look, how do they evolve, and how do they move on. For example, we have a verb like go. We can have different forms of go, and we can have different formations of the verb go. Going, went, gone, will go, and so on. And then you can also form nouns and adjectives with this. It's a gone case. So now this is not a noun over here, it's an adjective. So this is what we do in morphology. And then syntax, sentence patterns or structures. As you said, we have a sequencing of words in a sentence in every language. And this is the structure of a language. How do we place one word after the other? So grammar is broadly these two things. But David Crystal said that grammar should be renamed understanding language. We think about rules, we talk about structures, we talk about systems, but we should rename grammar as understanding because we understand a language with its grammar. We are born with a mother tongue. Do we have, how many of you have Hindi as mother tongue? If you could write in the chat boxes. So whatever mother tongue we have, we don't actually learn it. We don't actually learn the grammar of our mother tongue. It is basically an understanding which we develop with the help of a grammar. So we don't really need to understand the rules, the structures, the sequencing. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So we don't really need to learn the structures and rules of a grammar of a language. We need understanding. But it is important that we know the grammar so that we understand a language. So it's a relationship between understanding and grammar. I'm a little conscious of the time because we have already been a little late, as Sir said. So I would not harp much about it. Now, grammar needs context. As you would understand, that context is very essential for us. Anyone who would like to share what do we mean by context in a grammar? Context in a grammar. When we teach grammar in our classrooms, when we teach language in a classroom, we say having context is very important. What do you think is context? Okay, I'm waiting because this is important that we know what context is. Any idea? We have all been doing grammar. We have all been doing language in our classrooms. And even if not language, we have at least been teaching in the classes. And it is essential in every subject that we have a contextual understanding of whatever we teach. So, any idea? When we say we need context in teaching of grammar, I thought I saw someone writing. Okay, no. Okay, I'll move. Did anybody write anything? I'm sorry, I'm sharing a screen, so I am not really able to keep track of what you're writing. I stopped sharing so that I can have at least a view of what you're writing. I'll stop this. Are you able to look at my screen? Is it visible? The PPT? I just need to confirm once.
No,
Is this visible?
no, ma'am.
Uh,
Then the screen is visible, but not the PPT.
oh, I'm sorry. I just need a minute to deal with this technology. Okay, is the PPT visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, we need knowledge of English language since English is a foreign language for us. Howsoever much we may say that it is a second language, but actually it is a foreign language for most of us, and especially for our students who come from a background where sometimes even education is a first generation thing. So that is important that exposure of language is there, a lot of exposure for our students. So grammar is important because it makes it possible for us to talk about language. It makes it possible for us to talk at least. I'm talking in English, I may talk in Hindi, I may talk in Sanskrit, French, Tamil, Telugu, but I must know the grammar of the language. Only then I'll be able to speak in it, talk to people, communicate to people. as some of you initially said, that it is rules of language. So sometimes you think grammar is basically about errors and correction and how accurate we are in a language. But it is basically about understanding, as we discussed, and making sentences. Now I'm talking about the context, why we are doing grammar in our session today. Because, yes, somebody said something. I heard somebody. Okay. So why is it important for us? Because we need to make sentences and paragraphs in our answers, in our questions. So that is why we would need grammar. So I'm just sharing a few ideas through which you can improve your grammar skills. I'll just go through them very quickly. I'm not sure if this has been already shared with you. So one is reading. So learning language or learning grammar, it is very essential. It is important that we read a lot. This is first thing that we can do to improve our grammar skills. And then if we read correctly, we read books, it reinforces correct grammar in our minds. Though we may not learn grammar at the same time, but it somehow gets embedded in our mind and we start understanding language. It is helpful us to read and understand. And then the second part is getting a grammar manual, a grammar book or a reference book which talks about grammar. So, in case you're teaching students in your classrooms, please refer some manual to them. You could have, we already have a grammar book from the department shared with our students. So you could refer to that. You'd find that in your schools. And then when we talk about grammar, we must review the basic of grammar, basics, the basic errors, the basic parts of speech, just the basic things. Just clear that up with your students before you actually start working on a grammar. And then when you have cleared up the basics, please practice, because practice is something which would help your students a lot, since we all know that they have not had a great exposure to the language. And then listening to others. Now you can, the first thing that you can do is talk to them in English in your classrooms, because they would not listen to English otherwise outside your class. So it is important that you talk to your students in English. And then you could also share some kind of videos, audios with your students, which are in good English, the kind of English that you would want them to learn. I'm sorry. So these days you are all taking online classes. So it is very easy for you to share things online, whether using WhatsApp or you are using Google Meet or Zoom or any other platform. So this is the right time to share audio visual things so that they listen to a lot of language that you are trying to teach to them. And then read out loud. When we are teaching our text, we just had a prose session before this one. So when you're having a prose session, please make it a point that you read out loud to your students, even if it is a little bit. Read this. Read the text that you are doing with your students. Have them, let them have the text in front of their eyes, and then you read them out as a model reading for them. And then again, when you read, reading is receptive skill, and productive skill for that would be writing. So the next step would be to help them write. Okay, by using these methods, you'll improve the grammar of your students. So there are some researches and theories that say that it is more effective to use grammar in contextual things. For example, the kind of tips that we had just now, reading and writing, and then students having their work as self-assessment. For example, if you've given an exercise or some other task to your students, let them do that And then later on, share an answer key with them so that they can find their mistakes on their own. Let them self assess on their own. This is going to help a lot, both you and your students. That'll give you a little bit of time, and you'd also know what kind of mistakes your students are making. They would also get to learn the kind of mistakes that they're making, and then perhaps they won't repeat it. And then help them combine sentences meaningfully. Use very small lessons, mini lessons. Don't have an elaborate lesson. For example, if you are doing nouns with them, please focus on one aspect of noun and practice that in one class only. Do not try to include a lot of information in one session or one class. So these are the kind of questions that we had earlier. I'm going to switch over to the kind of questions that we have in our question papers these days. So please use your textbooks. These are some things that we could do to get contextual learning for grammar. So when we do the textbook, please ensure that they have text in front of them. If you're doing online classes, which you're doing right now these days, please ensure that when you teach, when you have them reading, just don't share the PDF or the book before the session or after the session, but actually do it. I'm sorry. Actually do it when you are taking the session. Have them look at the words. Have them look at the paragraph, the sentences, or the stanzas that you're teaching. So you could use the textbook as an aid for teaching grammar as well. And then you can use wrappers or pamphlets for grammars. As you would know, students eat a lot of chips and biscuits and chocolates and so many things, so many other things. So you could ask them to bring some kind of wrapper to the class and then ask them to find out whatever you are teaching with them. For example, you are doing verbs. So ask them to find out the verbs that you can find from the wrappers or the pamphlets that you are trying to use. Or if you're using um, progressive nouns, or if you're using continuous tense, or if you're using adjectives, you may ask them to find out, identify these from the pamphlets or the wrappers that they're using. Then you could also use newspapers for your grammar exercises. And you could also use textbooks of other subjects, not just English. You may have textbooks of maths, of science, SST, which have English as a medium of language. So you could be contextual in teaching of grammar. So I'm not going into the examples here. I would rather go to the questions, because before that, I'll just talk about this. We have talked about this, but I'm just reiterating that just pick one area of a grammar at one time. Do not do not club many things in one session, in one time, at one go. Break it down into pieces and then focus on a particular aspect. And then after that, you make it progressive when you combine two or three areas. For example, when you've done the present tense, then you could combine present perfect and present continuous. Give them exercises which have both the tenses in the same sentence. Or you have a list of sentences wherein they would be able to identify or insert both the tenses. So you could combine these two, whatever topics you have done earlier. So it is important for the students to do that so that they can compare and then they can have a better understanding of whatever you have done with them. And then when you have a specific area of teaching, please practice all types of areas. Do not leave anything unpracticed. If you think maybe, the adjective parts is important, because this has a lot of questions in the question paper. So you would practice more of adjective and less of noun. Please don't do that. Try and practice every part in the same manner. So I'll move on to the CBSE board paper. I will share. Okay, just a second. I'll share the questions that are there in the CBSE exams. I'm sure you would be aware that there have been many changes this year in the question papers. I hope you're aware of that. So my PPT is visible. Is that visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So grammar basically is of 10 marks according to the new pattern of CBSE. There are 3 questions, question number 5, 6, and 7 in the question paper. I've taken these questions from the sample question paper from CBSE site. You can access the CBSE site and look for more things. I'm just sharing it for your convenience. So there's the first question, which has 3 parts, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3. Now the first one is about the verbs. This is about a festival, Wangla Festival of Meghalaya. As you could see, the Wangla Dash Festival for the Garo in Meghalaya, Assam and Nagaland. It is a post-harvest festival dash, the end of the agricultural year. It is popularly known as the 100 Drums Festival. During the signature dance, the leading warrior dash with synchronized dance steps and specific handheld movements. Now, this is the passage. These are the questions. So the first part, which was a blank, a dash, has 4 options over here. Is important, are unimportant, was the important, is unimportant. I'll go back to this. So could you find out the answer for that? The Wangla Festival dash for the Garo. The Wangla Festival dash for the Garo. A, B, C, D. Could you just try this? Which would be the answer? What would be the answer out of these 4 options? Okay, so Dana says C, Sudhanshu says D, Sonia says D. Okay, we have many D's coming over. So yes, that's right. D is the answer. Now the students would be able to choose the correct answer. Thank you, Suman. The students would be able to choose the correct answer only when they have been reading a lot. Otherwise, they might just... Now, there is one with is important, which is part A, and D is an important. So they must know that using articles is as important, right? They must not be missing an article. Now we'll move on to the second one. It is a post-harvest festival dash the end of the agricultural year. Now, this is the second one. A, B, C, D being celebrated for marking, celebrated to mark, celebrated to marking, being celebrated for mark. Now we can go back to this. The post-harvest festival dash the end of the agricultural year. Festival dash the end. Festival dash the end. A, B, C, D. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, another Sonia. Thank you. Thank you, Pratibha. That's right. B is the correct answer. So I'm just giving you an idea of what kind of questions the students would get, and you should be able to practice these kinds of questions with them. If any of you is a teacher from previous years, you would know that these are not the kind of questions that we earlier had. So this is something new which is happening with CBSE board. If you're a new teacher, you would be able to know what you would want to do with your students if they have to answer such questions. And the worksheets that you receive from DOE will also have practice questions like these only. But they would be like 2 or 3 or 4, and your students might need to practice more. And before they practice, they must understand what is being done over here. How you are selecting the verbs. Now I'll again move to the third part. During the signature dance, the leading warrior dash with synchronized dance steps and specific hand-head movements. The leading warrior dash with synchronized dance steps. Now we again have four options over here. Leads the youngsters, is lead the youngsters, was leading the youngsters, has led the youngsters. So this is the third part again. During the signature dance, the leading warrior with synchronized dance steps and specific hand-head movements. Leading warrior dash with synchronized dance steps. Leading warrior dash with synchronized dance steps. Remember, the tense that is being used in the passage right from the beginning is present. So the students must know that if a passage is talking about something in a specific tense, the same tense would follow. So over here, would you like to guess or we move? A, B, C, D. Okay, I'll just give an example of the other question. We no longer have rearranging sentences over here, which we used to have. So that's why gap omissions and rearranging sentences, I'm not doing that with you. So this is question number 6. Now there is, this again has 3 parts and 3 marks, 1 mark for each answer. So we have 6 marks in 2 questions, question number 5 and question number 6. So question number 7 would be left with 4 marks. I'll just try and share the if I can. I just wanted to show the pictures because this question has a picture. Are you able to look at the picture over here on the screen? Are you able to, is this picture visible to you? If not, I'll move on.
Picture is not visible, ma'am.
Okay. I know why is this. Okay. I'll start sharing again and maybe then it will be visible. Just bear with me for a minute. I'll just try and is it visible now? Are you there, sir? If anybody could respond if the picture is visible, otherwise I'll move to the text.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll share the PPT again. I'm sure PPT would be visible. So there is a comic strip after the question, and then the text follows. I'll just give a space over here so that you know there is a picture. So now there is a blank space over here and it has a comic strip, the way you have Spider-Man, Superman, and Nandan and Chacha Chaudhary. So there's a comic strip with usually 3 pictures in which the characters are speaking to each other. And based on that is a text over here. If you had read Tinkle, if someone of you had read Tinkle in your childhood, you would know Supandi was a very popular character in Tinkle. So now this is a cartoon strip about Supandi. I'm sorry I'm not able to share the cartoon strip with you, but then the text is there and you would know how to help your students with that. So again, the text has Supandi talking to somebody, and now this is a narration um, which Venu says about Supandi. Now the text is, I saw Supandi standing in the field when I dashed doing there. I'll move on to the answers, the options right away. There are again options. Now there are 4 options. Exclaim what he was, told him what he was, asked him what he was, and says to him about what. Now when I dash doing there, when I exclaim what he was doing there, told him what he was doing there, asked him what he was doing there, says to him about what he was doing there. So which one do you think should be there? Even if you haven't seen the comic strip. Okay, A. Sudhanshu says A. Any other takers for that? Sonia says C. Pavan says C. Any other takers? Thank you, Deepa. C again. So C is the answer. Thank you, Harsha.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes, Khalida. Thank you, C.
Ma'am,
Yes,
want to
please.
discuss something with you.
Yes, that's
Ma'am,
true. Please go ahead.
ma'am, in today's time when we are having GMET classes with our students and
What
very few
classes?
ma'am,
What class?
online classes now on GMeet we are taking online
Okay,
classes.
Google Meet. Okay.
Very few students are joining that, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And if ma'am, if this grammar exercise, this need lot of space, and ma'am, student should be there. Student teacher
Exactly.
required.
Exactly.
Can you give something, some tips to make children understand and do these things, ma'am? Ma'am, we know the
Okay, if
grammar, we
I know.
understand that, but
I
ma'am,
know.
how to transact these rules and how to make our students do this in the exam?
Okay, could I know your name, please?
Ma'am, my name is Suman Gupta.
Thank you, Suman. Thanks for raising this question. I'm sure this question must have been raised in your school as well. So there are 2 or 3 things that you could do. Talk to the HOS of your school, because I have been, dealing with quite a few schools which have had the same kind of problem. Students not attending the online classes. One thing could be the HOS intervening and talking to the parents. You could have a parents teacher meet as well, online parent teacher meet, wherein the principal or HOS intervention would be very important. If that does not happen, I'm sure you would have WhatsApp groups in your schools where the students would be there. So you could
Yes.
share some kind of interesting material. You have to get them interested in what you teach. If the students are not interested, because uh, when you were teaching face to face, the students had to sit in your classroom whether they liked what you were teaching or not liked you were teaching. Now they are free to leave the class whenever they want. They could easily say, ma'am, there was an internet problem that the phone was not available to us. My father did not give it to me. My mother did not give it to me, whatever reason. But if they are interested in your class, they would make it sure that their father gives them the phone, their mother gives them the phone, and the internet connection is Just perfect. They would find the corner where they have the internet connection or the signals. They're very smart. The students are very smart. We know that. So you have to use their smartness and get them working. For example, I'm not sure if you've heard of Padlet. You've heard of Nearpod.
No,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry, my session. Okay, I'll just write it down in the chat box. You could try and I have another session of ICT, use of ICT. I'll discuss these things in detail over there, but try and get interest of your students so that they want to visit your class. I'm sure there would be some classes wherein the students would be a lot many in number in your school only.
Mm, Ma'am, no, not many students are reverting because, ma'am,
I
there is
understand
problem
that.
with the students. Actually, there are 4 to 5 children in each home, and they have to share the phone of their parents or
I
elder brother
understand
or
that.
sister who
I
are
understand
working.
that.
So,
I
अगर ma'am worksheet भी if they return, so it is very, very much blissful for us. They are reverting our worksheets year by year. And
I
in
know
PTM,
that's a big problem.
maximum we have had all these things, PTM and my HOS has specially called each and
Mm-hmm.
every child. She has spoken to them. She has spoken to the parents. But still, ma'am, their issues are there, and genuine problems are there.
Okay,
And
did
ma'am,
you?
I have got the
I
section.
understand that. I understand. See, remember what I said was that if your students are interested in what you are going to teach or what you're going to share, then they would definitely they would ensure it somehow that they attend your class, whether they have to hijack the phone from somebody or they have to move to the tiniest corner of their rooms of their houses or to some part in the gully of their neighborhood. They would definitely do that if they know that you are going to do something that they might be missing. So you could use, I have
But
teachers
to
who have
us,
been
how to
using.
make them attend the first class also? Because it is like the students who are attending the class, na, they are
So
regular, and
try and
those
share something. Try and share something extremely interesting in the WhatsApp groups. Do you have art integration projects starting in
yes,
your
ma'am,
schools?
we
So
have got it.
please try and use that. That's a very important tool. Using songs, using drawings, using videos, using role play. I remember a teacher of mine she's a Hindi teacher and is a very young teacher. So she's a very young teacher and she was trying to imitate Mahadevi Verma. So she was wearing a dupatta. She was trying to be an old aged woman when she was teaching it. And when there were different props that she would use in the classroom on an online class. For example, if it was a chana jor garam, so she would have a newspaper rolled up like a chana pack, the way they sell it on the streets. So you have to understand what kind of things would work for your students, and I'm sure they would
Okay.
join. But as you would know, life is not perfect, so you may not expect 100% attendance. But yes, I'm sure the number of students would definitely increase.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, coming back again to the questions, I'm sure you would know the answers. You would know what they are about. But getting your students to understand what it is all about, you need to give them a lot of exposure. And as I said, shared with you earlier, reading using contextual things. Contextual, you may use wrappers. You may say, we would all eat chocolates in our classroom today. So bring your chocolates, get them to eat the chocolate and give them time, 1 minute or 2 minutes, eat chocolate, and then take out your wrapper and then read your wrapper and then talk to them about this, about the verbs, about the nouns. And from wrappers, you could move to some kind of storybooks or some kind of, if your students are interested in sports, if your students are interested in dance, use that. Use that in your classrooms because contextual text would definitely help your students work on this.
I'm in senior classes also, 10th
That's
and
right, even in senior classes. even in class 11 and 12. Though we are not talking about class 11 and 12, but yes, even for class 10, it would work. It has worked.
Thanks, ma'am.
Try it using different ways. For example, you could ask your students to express themselves in, when you start your class, ask them to sing a song the way they are feeling, the way they are feeling today. I could ask you to do that. Your participants. Yeah, why not? Please sing a song, a line of any song that you're feeling right now. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm very bad at that.
Suman, ma'am, Suman.
Okay, Suman, could you sing a line of any song that you are feeling right now today? Any line. You are hesitating, but your students would not. Let me tell you. They would hesitate for a minute, and there would be many who would be willing to sing songs for you. So there was the question number 6, which was on narration. The first one was about verbs. The second one, appropriate form of verbs. The second one, question number 6, was about narration. And the narration part would have comic strips. So let your students read comic strips. Now you could have comics from different parts and, uh, based on the type of interest that your students have, so that they try and read the comic strips and you get to practice on that. Now, question number 7 has 6 sentences, out of which students would opt for 4 sentences. Now, 1, 2, 3, there are 3 sentences on this page and next 3 on the second page. So again, there is blank where you have determinals or modals. If you would see over here, the first one, we'll just discuss a few of them. The first one is you dash consult the thesaurus if you need groups of synonyms for those words. You had to consult, you need to consult, you used to consult, you might consult. Now you have to give them a lot of practice for this. Would anyone want to venture for the answer for this one, the first one? You dash consult. Okay, thank you. You need to consult the thesaurus if you need groups of, why not had to, or why not used to, and why not might? It is important that you tell your students why not the other ones. Why just the right one?
It is always if we use that, it is in present also, it is in future also. Had is
Okay,
something.
thank you. Thanks for that. So it is essential that we talk to our students not just about the correct option, but also about the ones that are wrong. Because it is only by even discussing about the wrong ones that they would know how to go for the right option. Since we are 7 minutes over and above the time, I'm not sure if I should be continuing, but this is what we have as questions. If you want, you can have a look at this one. Okay, thank you. This would be the end of our session. And these are the next 3 sentences. This is the kind of question that we would have for grammar in our CBSE Class 10 board exam. Thank you all for patiently listening to me and participating in this session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for today's session.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.